And welcome to the Frame100 podcast, the only podcast with 100 frames. These intros keep getting worse and worse every time I swear.
Not Sam. I love it.
That's good.
Anyways, welcome guys. Wow, it looks like everyone showed up like right when the intro started. You all know what's up. We got Jumbo Gauge, hello, Awesome Pants Films, Bricktail Studio, Locker74. He said he was away. Yeah, that's why I put not Sam there, which is he's
Samwise.
Sam. Samwise Gamgee. The Jumbo Gauge. There is only one Jumbo Gauge, but there are two Sams, and there are so many Chris's. Look at the Brickfilm's wiki. You know how many Chris's there are? I'm gonna get off my high horse now.
Too
It's
many.
like three.
Too many.
There's more than 3. You can count more than 3 just off your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there we go. So anyways, welcome to the podcast. We're back to the format. Hope you enjoyed last week, as we had there was more of a live presence than usual. I would like to say I'm at Trev's house right now, except I am not at Trev's house right now. So rip.
It makes me depressed.
That being said, go watch
I
Trev's
miss him.
vlog because there's so many good memories there, and it was a lot of fun. And because I'm working on mine, so hopefully his will distract you.
I thought we had agreed to both release them on Valentine's Day because, or Palentine's Day, sorry.
I tried, but late night labs, man. I was there.
Yeah, I know.
Circuits.
I ended up just like blowing so much stuff off because I was just like, I'm just going to get this done. I need to just get it out of my system. And I'm still going to put up my review for the Lego Movie stuff as well.
Yay!
Which,
that's
funny
a
enough,
segue.
happens to be our topic today. Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess I want to make mention of this first because New York Toy Fair is going on right now. Dude, those new set reveals. I'm pretty excited about a lot of that stuff. Definitely, if you guys have anything to input about any of this stuff in the chat, feel free. We'll try and, keep watch of it best we can.
Indeed.
But my gosh, those hidden side sets. Absolute perfection. I am so excited for those sets. They look absolutely phenomenal. There's like barely anything I can think of that is, negative about it. I was saying to the... Yeah.
There's a couple of things.
Well, yeah.
If you want to brick film with these sets, be my guest, but you cannot brick film any ghosts because the ghosts do not physically exist. I'm sorry.
Well, isn't that kind of... they still have the ghostly, like, people.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Oh my
Every
gosh.
night, I can feel my non-physical ghost minifigures. Okay.
Non-physical.
Flat. We're gonna keep going. Try not to
Yeah.
them here. But honestly,
But,
that's all I can really think of. The sets look dope. I love that the AR side is more deeply embedded with the physical bricks. Because
Dude, you
George couldn't do it. None of them could do it. This is gonna do it.
You can get actual, like, in the app, you can get actual, like, studs as currency, like, in the Lego games. I was like, after I saw that, I was like, this is just, take my money. Like, I'm sold.
Take my money, take my
like-
soul. What else do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little over dramatic, but
Just a tad, but... And then I guess, what other stuff is there?
so
There's,
Jumbo Gauge mentioned the Flintstone set.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
really good.
It looks
excited.
good. I was a bit put off by how they translated the what's the word, the like the noses for Barney and Fred, but I think it's a little better than how they initially had done it.
Yeah.
It looks
in the
good.
actual like proposal. But yeah,
Now, one thing that people pointed out, especially on Brickset, is that between the original submission and the set, there are a few things missing. Read Brickset's review. It's pretty comprehensive, and I think they've raised some valid points. I like the Flintstones. I watched a few episodes as a kid. I kind of want to rewatch them now just for the sake of nostalgia, which I guess
Right.
I'm too young for that level of nostalgia. But I am a little bummed that the set is missing most of the stuff that was in the original idea, because I feel like
yeah.
like the kids, I keep hearing their names. They involve rocks, I believe.
Bam Bam and
Dinosaur-
Pebbles.
There we go. Isn't Pebbles a cereal?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Pebbles
that's-
is it. Yes.
Yeah, that's why Fruity Pebbles, I think, is like sponsored or whatever by Hanna-Barbera or something like that. I'm not sure. I know they're involved like heavily with one another. It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, the sets look really good though. I'm excited. I like the quote unquote car that they have. I think that looks really cool, and
yeah.
I really like the Rock TV set. I think that's really really cool. But other than that, I might buy it. I mean, it's not a bad price. I mean, $60 isn't terrible. So, or is it 50 or 60? It's one of those. But,
it's 60, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess speaking of stuff that's priced a bit off, it segues good into the Star Wars stuff. I think the sets look really good. I just think they're really expensive, especially for Star Wars stuff, like for a licensed theme.
Yeah, well, the 20th anniversary sets are expensive because, again, they're 20th anniversary sets, so that makes sense.
It's Lego and it's Star Wars, and I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, so let's just say it.
I'm still gonna buy them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're gonna get my money no matter what. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, the Starkiller base is a little lackluster for $20. To be honest with you, I like the new the new action battle sets with you flick the darts at the targets or whatever.
Oh yeah, I freaking love those. I was surprised
really cool
to see those return because I remember that was a thing back when like Atlantis was around. Because I have a few of those from those sets.
I think they're really cool.
I think they're called like spring launchers because I know we have the spring shooters now. I think they call them launchers. I want to say I forget the exact name.
Yeah, I still call them missiles. I think they're cool.
The old design had a much bigger head, and like it was just more maximum impact, which I guess is why I phased it out. The T1 Typhoon. Anyone in comments? Remember the T1 Typhoon? Best Lego helicopter ever. Okay, we'll let the crickets speak for themselves. Also,
I don't even remember that set, to be honest. But
also, Ninjago minifigure leaks. No sets yet, but word regarding Forbidden Spinjitzu, which I don't know what that means, but it's gonna be lit dope fire.
I didn't know they were doing more sets. I thought they were done after Legacy.
No, it hit.
Oh, dude,
they're not done just yet.
Here, I'll turn this up for you, Isaac. There you go. Yeah, we do have many fake images. Thanks to the notification there, Jumbo. But yeah, I mean, these sets look like, well, not sets, these minifigs look pretty cool. Love some of the designs. And then after watching Season 8 again, Sons of Garmadon, that show has not lost momentum at all.
I like Sons of Garmadon quite a lot.
Like, the animation is so much better to begin with. And it feels like they finally took the time to set up a timeline. So what I started thinking was, hey, wait a minute, what if just all the previous seasons, whenever there are time accidents, like something in the timeline doesn't line up or someone says something contradictory, what if those are all just effects of the Sons of Time ripping their way through the time stream?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it automatically makes the show so much better because even though it feels like a reboot, you can still count all the previous stuff, except you just know that the timeline's messed up. But point being, we're going on a tangent. We're not talking about Ninjago today. We're talking about the Lego Movie 2 today.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
So here's how this is gonna work. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I was just saying let's do it.
All right. So here's how this is gonna work. We're gonna start off with a non-spoiler review, non-spoiler discussion. By non-spoiler, we mean anything and everything that was already revealed in trailers, marketing, and/or sets. And then after that, we'll have a quick little intermission, which you'll know because the intermission will show up on the screen and it's going to be super obvious. And then we'll go ahead and do the spoiler, where all cards are off the table. We'll assume you've watched it. So if you want to back out during the intermission. And if not, we will do our dang best not to spoil anything. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Cool.
I like it.
So, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, which Trev and I commented.
What?
Every time they say the second part, it's like someone in the had a little earpiece, and someone was telling them, "Hey, you forgot the full tagline." Like, everyone, let's get it for Lego Movie 2.
The second
part. Thanks, little earpiece guy. I forgot about that.
Oh, whoops. Yeah. I guess first we can talk about ranking. So we've had 4 Lego movies that have released since February 2014. We've had the original Lego movie, Lego Batman movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, and the Lego Movie 2.
Clutch Powers. We don't talk about Clutch Powers.
Yeah, I guess so. Or the Atlantis movie.
No regrets. Anyways,
that's a throwback right there. But I guess do one you guys want to start with a ranking of the 4? I guess we'll go from best to worst, probably.
Yeah, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first since I was the most recent one who saw it last night. For me, I still think the Lego Batman movie is number 1 for me, and like Lego Movie is like really close behind at number 2, and then Lego Movie 2 is at number 3, and then Ninjago is at number 4. That's not like a knock against Ninjago, the brand itself. It's just a knock that they experimented and went with, realistic environments instead of brick built environments like the 3 other movies did. But yeah, those are my rankings. Those are my personal rankings.
Yes,
I'm still gonna stand by my laurels and say that I still think that the naturalistic elements from Ninjago is good. I don't know why people are still so against that stuff. But
I've laid out a whole argument as to why it works, and nobody likes it. So.
Chris, I guess, do you want to go next?
You're all wrong. I mean, all right. So mine's gonna be extremely heretical. So my least favorite was the Lego Batman movie, which I know everyone's gonna get angry. But here's the thing: least favorite of the Lego movies is like picking your favorite Ferrari. Like, let's be real here. Now, if you're talking, say, Disney DreamWorks movies, I'll take every Disney movie and rank it low. Anyways, before I go off and anger more people,
dang.
Lego Batman movie,
fair.
then the Lego movie, which I really like, the Lego Ninjago movie, because I think it's an underrated gem, and there's some good stuff there, and I think people, they just get antsy about it. And then the Lego Movie 2. The Lego Movie 2 is honestly my favorite one of the series, and I will go into extreme depth during the spoiler section.
Can you repeat, what was number 3? Was Lego Movie number 3?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
The main reason why I like the Lego Ninjago movie better than the Lego movie, and I'll say this because it's been out forever, and if you haven't watched it, you're a scrub. But the main reason I liked it so much is because it took the concept of Ninjago, and it made it something that was pretty fun. It certainly wasn't an epiphany, but I think people give it a lot of crap because they weren't able to defend it on the basis of, oh man, it's a great depiction of, say, Batman, or oh, it's a great depiction of, say, the Lego fan experience. I mean, it's Ninjago. The fan base is already kind of crazy to begin with, so it had some big shoes to fill, and I think people held to an unfair standard.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
I guess that leaves me. So for me, Lego Movie OG, first one, favorite, hands down, the best of them all. I guess next, it's a really hard toss-up between the Lego Movie 2 and the Lego Batman movie, but I think I want to go with the Lego Movie 2. I don't know, man. It's just, it's good. That one, to me, feels more fulfilling in a happy sense as opposed to Batman, which feels more fulfilling in an action sort of sense and a story sort of sense. So yeah, so it's Lego Movie 1, Lego Movie 2, Lego Batman movie, Ninjago. Again, Ninjago, I don't hate it. I remember when I went and saw it originally, I was like hardcore into like watching everything about the film after it was released. I watched a ton of reviews. I looked at like the Rotten Tomatoes score, all this stuff like the day of seeing the film, and it really hindered, I think, what I had thought of the film after seeing it for the first time. But a couple months later, I went back and watched it again. I felt a lot better about it. Yeah, it's got its flaws, and it's a little disheartening when you go in the end or in the special features on the DVD and you see kind of the other ideas they were throwing around, which personally I think some of them sounded a lot better than what we actually got. But I mean, it's definitely not. It can't be written off as a horrible movie by any standards. So
again, these are the Lego movies. They should have just been annoying 2-hour Lego commercials, and yet they turn out to be some of the best animated films of the last decade. How that works, I don't know. They should have
all said like
Lord
it should have
Miller.
been like they should have been like a Lego figure going like, "Hey!" every 5 minutes.
Hey, buy our products. No, but for real though, that's what it should have been. Heck, that was my first reaction walking the first Lego movie. I was like, this is going to be a 2-hour toy commercial, but I'm a shameless shill and I love it. And no,
I mean, I said it in my vlog and stuff, and it still baffles me to think about it. Like, I was 14 when I went and saw the first one. And I remember all I could think was just I was so excited to go see it. And I remember there was a lot of stuff that was like going on at the time that was gonna like hinder my ability to go see it. But I was able to get a ride with a friend, and we went and saw it. And it's like, you get that spoilers for, I guess, the Lego Movie, but it's been out for 5 years. It's been out for 5 years.
Watch it, scrubs.
But it's like, yeah, I like that twist at the end. My gosh, it hits you like such a heartwarming truck. It's so good, and that's definitely where the franchise got its staying power, was just in that the final 10 minutes of that film. Like it's so fast paced and witty and creative, and then you don't think it can top that, but then bam, it does, and it hits you with the astute reality that this is all actually happening within the mind of a child, and it's just like, holy crap, that's insane.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And goodness gracious, the Lego Movie 2, I think, does the same. Pretty much the same thing. Like, we all know the twist. It's the human world. We're not going to spoil anything at this moment, of course, but they assume that you've come to grips with how it works, and then they just run with it. Like, you think they'd try and beat a dead horse, but I think, honestly, they build off of it. And they make it all more impactful.
I don't think it really treads too many of the same beats from the first one. I know a lot of people were initially like really worried about that. Myself included, but I mean, they really don't, tread on a lot of those older jokes again. It's still its own unique thing that exists, and I mean, yeah, I don't think it's really that bad of a film. I don't really know where I was going with that.
I don't either, dude.
But I lost my train of thought. But
there we go.
Yeah,
Boom.
so.
Also, hey Eiko, how's it going? Like Trev said, we're not doing any spoilers right now, so feel free to stick around. Also, Isaac, I low-key kind of hate you right now. Like, I love you, bro, but I hate you, so.
I think for the spoiler stuff, we'll kind of hit that around like the half an hour mark, so we'll do kind of half and half.
Yep. Like I said, there will be an intermission. It'll be super clear, so you won't be left wondering, oh my god, what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll make sure that you guys know we're shifting gears.
I'm never gonna hit that falsetto note ever again. Until
I will though.
But yeah, so yeah, Lego Movie 2. So we start off in Pittsburgh, and you saw the trailers. We're going into deep space, and hang on to your fronds, Planty.
Hang on to your fronds, Planty.
The star system.
Like, from the get-go,
it's
absolutely hilarious that the premise is basically just, like, right after the first one, and they just run with it.
Yeah, the fact that it picks up right after the first one, but then it does do another time jump to get to, the 5 years that we're at now. And that's where all of the Apocalypseburg stuff starts to kind of kick in.
Yeah, like they don't walk you through like, oh man, remember President Business, and let's give a detailed walkthrough back of the Craggle. Like, they assumed you're already up to date. They wasted no time kicking into the meat of it all.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, they reintroduced some of the characters from the first one that don't play as much of a part in the second. I'm not going to talk about who they are or anything right now. But I guess also going off of that, like, the new character additions, my gosh, they're really good. Because who do we have? We have Sweet Mayhem, we have Queen Whatever Wannabe, and Rex Dangervest. I think
Rex Dangervest.
Mind if I saved your life? No, not at all.
Mind if I save your life?
Yep. Also, Cat Lady and Punk Cat, best characters ever.
Yes.
Spoiler alert: the Punk Cat saves the world. No, I'm kidding.
Let's.
It's not the spoiler part yet. No,
I'm teasing.
but
Punk Cat is awesome.
In terms of the other like referenced characters that don't play as much of a part in the film, the new ones that are in here a lot of them are really surprising to see. We'll dive into that later, but there's one character in particular who I did not expect to see, in a Lego form whatsoever. There's also another one that shows up that, I mean, he was from the first movie, but he, like, I don't know, the jokes he tells, man. The jokes that they use with that character, oh, it's funny. It's real funny.
Oh man, I'm trying to interpret exactly who you're talking about, having watched the movie, but also knowing that we're trying to deliberately not spoil anything. I have no clue who you're talking about.
Well, let's stay away from naming characters and then go into why do you think it's better than the first Lego movie?
Well, yeah. So this would be directed at Chris, I guess.
Yeah.
Mr. Major.
That's spoiler thing.
Oh.
Okay, I can give a non-spoiler version of why I think it's better than the first one. So, like the first one, my standards were already pretty low. I was expecting to walk in for a 2-hour toy commercial. My mom gave me the strangest look as I walked out the door with my younger brothers to go watch it. So, in the first one, where it turned out to be a really heartfelt story and there was this beautiful animation, you could tell they just really cared about it. I like that so much. And I can honestly say that Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they basically revitalized the animation medium. Not so much genre as it is medium.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller deserve lifetime achievement awards in animation. They have
and like
single-handedly, dude. Yeah, they have like single-handedly just killed it in the animation department. I want them working on like every animated film that comes out within the next like 10 years. Like. They're that good.
Like, the Lego movie was a big achievement. It should have been a 2-hour toy commercial, and yet I'm left wondering...
It should have been nominated for an Oscar
why am I crying inside? Oscars snubbed. Screw the Oscars.
Oscars snubbed. Yeah, and then even, it's this weird thing where, they can take up these old franchises. Like, I guess even Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is included in that, too, because it's based off an old book.
Yeah. Now, granted, it was Sony, so Sony they ended up doing their thing, but...
Yeah,
it had
but then again, so was Spider-Man.
Yep. See, here's the thing about Into the Spider-Verse is another example of where they completely revitalized the genre. And so I was kind of expecting how, okay, Lego Movie 2, they don't have so much their thumbprint on it. It's gonna, no, it surprisingly went above and beyond. Like, you can still tell that a lot of their influence was there, even if they weren't like, the first and foremost name on the credits reel. And they managed to take the parts that made the Lego Movie 1 really good, but instead of like revisiting them again and beating them like a dead horse, they managed to actually get pretty creative with reusing them. I guess honestly the best way I could describe it, which is gonna sound super cheesy, it's like if they had all the Lego Movie 2 sets, then they just took them all apart and decided to rebuild them, and in the process it came up with something that's a whole lot better. Still super familiar, but just a whole lot better in the way that it was constructed. Like, they knew what the movie was and knew how they were going to run with it. So in the second one, where I walked in with higher expectations and knowing this is not a 2-hour toy commercial, I was pleasantly surprised that it was even better than what I was expecting.
Yeah, because Chris and I, we went into it, without really any spoilers at all.
We didn't watch any. Marcus.
Hello, Marcus. I don't know if he's here. I wish he was here.
He's not in chat, but I like to think he's here in our hearts.
He is, yes. But Chris, we didn't watch any of the sort of media that was released for the film. Sure enough, I mean, there's times where you're scrolling through Twitter, you catch some stuff that's on there. But like, other than watching that first trailer that was released, I think it was in when was it? It was a little less than a year ago.
An eternity ago.
I forget
That's what.
I forget if it was in the fall or not. I think it was in the spring.
I think it was fall. Wait.
It was the fall?
I want to say the fall too, because that's right about when we pitched the idea of let's just watch the one trailer and then not watch any more trailers.
Did you guys watch the trailers after you saw the movie?
Yes,
we did.
Yeah, we actually did that the next day.
Okay.
Part of it too was because we wanted to figure out what scenes from those we wanted to put in the vlog that lined up with scenes we wanted in the movie.
I was surprised to see that a few of the scenes were actually edited differently. Some things were comped out, which I was a little surprised to see. I didn't think they would have done something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Isaac, if you fly to Montana, I will buy your ticket and we will see it.
I just think after watching the movie, I was just like, I kind of wish I didn't see the trailers because I feel like it gave a little bit too much for me, for my taste, especially because I know the third act, pretty much the second and third act was pretty much missing from the trailers. I know that for sure. But like I feel like the trailers ruined the first act for me. Not ruined in a bad way, but just kind of just like it gave me a little too much to know. If that makes any sense. Like I don't know. I just feel like going in is like, all right, I know what's gonna happen here. And then
like you just want to skip to the second and third act.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I don't really feel that way. I don't think. I think it was nice not watching the stuff prior to it. It made me
that's what I'm saying.
Excited for the film.
Like I wish I did. I wish I didn't see the trailers beforehand because I feel like I wouldn't have known what the first act was going to happen. You know, but like after seeing the movie, it's just like, well, I kind of know what the first act is going to be already. So let me just skip to the second act while we're at it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, it's like the first act. It takes place primarily in Apocalypseburg, but then the rest of the film is all kind of out in the Sistar system, up in space.
Tread carefully.
Yeah. I am.
And Isaac, I see your comment about the trailers, and while it's perfect for this moment, we'll probably cover that in the spoiler part. Yeah, just a heads up. Exactly. Sorry to break momentum. Keep going.
But it's like, it. Personally, I would have liked to see more of the Apocalypseburg stuff.
Me too.
To be honest.
Me too.
They could have definitely done a lot more, like ran with that concept a lot more. I mean, I love seeing the Mad Max influence in there.
Yeah.
It's funny to see, and this is something I will dive into in the spoiler part, because a lot of the characters go through some pretty interesting transformations, and that's where you start to like see it. Like, you know, you've got like Chainsaw Dave, you've got Larry the barista. They've just got and the cat lady, Mrs. Scratch and Post. They just have their completely like new makeovers for this film to try and evolve with the times.
And Punk Cat.
And Punk Cat, yeah.
Punk
Jeff.
Cat.
Now.
Insert metal.
Where's Jeff?
But I don't know. He's dead. But yeah, it was interesting to see, you know, how they sort of tackled those short sort of genres. And I guess that brings up the references. I think the references are way better in this film than the first one. A lot of the jokes rely on references.
Yes, I think so. I need to watch the first Lego movie again just to be sure, but I want to say I agree with that.
Which the weird thing with that too is I think Lego would have had more licenses with the first film.
Yeah.
Because they didn't. There's only one I can think of in particular, two actually that I can think of in particular that they put in this film as opposed to the first one.
Well, in the first Lego movie, like in the first Lego movie, most of the themes were theirs. Like it was mostly their original themes, like the Western, the Knights, and et cetera, et cetera.
The evergreen themes.
Yeah, and this one it relied more on, you know, some IPs and the original stuff, of course.
Which is interesting because one of the critic complaints was that they thought it relied a bit too much on IPs. I mean, granted, there were very few critics who complained about that, but it was one notable criticism that got brought up.
It's not. That's the core of Lego. Like, it's Lego, like, most of the sets they've released within the past year have been mostly IP related. Like, you know, you got, like, Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like, that's, you know, kind of been their forte recently. Granted, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I am happy to see them going back into the original stuff with Hidden Side again. But, like... honestly, yeah, I didn't think it was bad or anything. I didn't think it pandered to a lot of like audiences because like, oh, hey, we shoved this character from your favorite franchise in here this time. Like my movie, yay.
Well, I
didn't think it was like that, to be honest.
I think the reason why this works compared to, say, like, you know, the Emoji Movie, which is a steaming pile of garbage, the Emoji Movie existed to try and shove IPs. Don't watch it. Orion and I did, and I still haven't forgiven him for it. True story. I have vlog footage of that. Why have I not edited this? Point being, the Emoji Movie existed to simply shove IPs together to remind people that basically tech companies own your life. But the Lego Movie, whenever they add references, you can tell that the references fit as if you have a kid who's got a box full of random, you know, minifigures, and it just so happens he has Batman and Superman, so why not use them? Heck, try not to go too tangenty here, but like when I was a kid, like, my brothers and I, we had a couple licensed minifigs from like Star Wars, whatever. Like we knew nothing about Star Wars, but you'd have our Lego City layout where you have, you know, the bank and the school and the playground and the clone training facility. Like, it just made
Right.
sense to just throw the minifigs because we had them. And I think that's why it works in the Lego movie, because it's not unreasonable for a kid to have, say, Batman, and he just dresses up Batman for the apocalypse. Whereas, say, the Emoji movie, which takes literal 5 minutes to walk through Instagram for no reason to advance the plot! I'm sorry, where were we?
Well then,
Oof.
while Chris is dying over there, oh Lord, he's hyperventilating now.
Why?
I'm happy we're
Orion?
talking about this
Why?
week and not while he was here.
Could have got a family reunion, it would have been less painful.
Oh gosh.
Anyways.
So the Lego Movie 2. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I think it's.
I think they're pretty on par with one another. I think.
I don't think so.
What we'll go into very soon is the twist. I think the twists in both movies are super good.
I think the first one's better.
The first one still edges it out.
I think it's still better.
But they both, when you look back on it, when you look back on it a little bit further, they both teach some really interesting lessons. That is something that it's good for the youth to think about and bring into consideration more. Maybe once we get there, I can sort of sway your thinking, Jared.
I wouldn't so much
that's going to be my
lessons
mission.
as I would themes, which, without going to spoilers again, it's the same sort of subversion that you'd expect from the first movie.
I'll go into more of my explanation in the next couple minutes, but should we hit intermission pretty soon? It's already 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30.
Something
halfway.
30.
Just for the
wherever.
heck of it, because this isn't spoiler, and just to pad out for viewers who, don't want to hear spoilers, what would you say is your favorite set now that you've seen the movie?
That's one thing I wanted to bring up too. The sets.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I just thought about something. Holy crap.
Gosh. Yeah, well, the one thing I wanted to say was the sets. I was super happy to see, because with the first movie, I feel like a lot of the stuff was kind of like downscaled versions of what was actually in the film. Most of the stuff with the sets this time around, it's just like the legit models that came straight out of the movie. Like, I bought the Emmett's Dream Home and Rescue Rocket thing.
Yeah, I think that one's probably like one of the, after watching the movie, I think that one, Emmett's Dream House, and then Rexcelsior, whenever that comes out, I think those two are gonna be the best sets coming straight out of the movie.
They translate perfectly from the film, and now there's that the robot the triple decker couch, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
I freaking love when that shows up in the film, and seeing that, like, it looks like it's the exact same model. They're just spitting it out to us IRL, and I love that.
I'm so mad that the Rexcelsior set has like the tiny little dinosaurs instead of the actual raptor sizes.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed.
Well,
just
luckily
looking
you
at it
can. I think you can still get. There's that one, the buggy, the Rex buggy.
The buggy and the Rex Explorer both have full scale raptors.
Yeah, and the buggy is like, it's only like $30 or something, isn't it? It's definitely it's in a pretty good price range.
But yeah, I think the sets from this movie are better than the first movie.
Yep.
Personally.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. And Awesome Pants, I would almost jump on board with the Apocalypseburg set because it's really awesome. But anything with Rex Danger Vest's logo on it, I kind of need in my life. So I think that's where I'm going to stand. How about I save your life?
How about I save your life? I wish I could do an impression so badly. I'll work on it. That's what I'll do.
Yeah,
Rex
before we
Danger
get in,
Vest, archaeologist,
the spoilers.
other Chris Pratt roles. What am I doing?
It's a fun movie. Go see it. I don't think it's better than the first one, but I think it's a great movie and fun to watch and still enjoyable for everyone to see. Personally, kids will love it.
Go see it. We need those box office numbers to bolster up a little bit because apparently it underperformed in the box office, which is saddening to me.
That is true. But remember, they said the same thing about Into the Spider-Verse and look how that turned out.
This is like the perfect kids movie to take your kids on a Saturday. Like, this is like the perfect one, I think.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, it's Saturday, so just go see it now. Just if you don't want to see our spoiler stuff, just go see it now.
Go see it tonight.
Hey, that works out great. Maybe we could get paid royalties for advertising their movie or something. We'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Rex Danger Vest, why? Why, Rex? I'm heartbroken.
Spoiler cast time. Let's get this bread, gamers. So again, yeah, if you don't want to see spoilers, get the heck out.
We love you, but get the heck out.
We're gonna start spouting out some stuff right now.
And there goes all our viewers right now.
there goes everybody pretty much, yeah.
But hey,
feel free to come back and watch
later.
Yeah, come back and watch it later. You don't need to see it live. I mean, we're just gonna be talking about all the juicy details, man. I guess we can start talking about Rex first.
Okay.
Love the twist.
Rex
the twist
Danger Vest, why?
Almost as good as the first.
I think Chris called it. I think Chris called it months ahead, if I remember correctly. I think Chris said something about it.
Not
him
quite.
And his brother.
Not quite.
I thought he was gonna be like the what you call it?
Someone said it. I don't know.
Emmett's alter ego, but for the sole sake of just making Emmett look bad. Like it's a thematic element, but not so much like actually connected to Emmett.
Yeah.
But the science
I thought that it was that, like, he was gonna just be revealed as Emmett's cousin or his like long lost brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Turns out he's actually just Emmett.
I love that. I love the time.
Yeah, and exactly. It's something I never would have expected because of the hair, like the new hair mold and stuff. I guess you kind of get a hint from it because the little tuft in the back there. But yeah, it's like the color is different. But you think about it, it makes sense. He was been under a. Like, what was it? Was it the washer specifically?
The dry air system.
Yeah,
under the dry air
system. Yeah, like I mean, it's like Lego fades and stuff like that too. So I can understand like why it got darker. I thought that was really cool to see.
Well, we also let people enhance their hair by Sharpie, cough cough wild style.
I love it.
I like that too. The one thing I don't think they ever really confirmed that she was the one that like wrote or like performed the first Lego movie.
I think she ended up just.
Yeah, I think she showed they showed the album cover.
I don't know though if that was hindering to the fact that she was actually a part of it originally, or if she just joined it like recently.
No, she joined it originally because the band is long gone with the whole apocalypse, and the song had been long. Like I think they had mentioned that that's the only song that the band ever recorded. That's the only song that was ever played in Bricksburg.
Yeah, and it makes more sense too, considering the flashback wild style minifig from the collectible minifig series for the movie.
It does make sense now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that I liked about the time travel thing was that it was when he found Doc and the DeLorean. I thought that was awesome that he.
Yeah, well, so that's the one character.
Bill and Ted, Doctor Who.
Yeah, that was the one character I wanted to bring up. Whoever would have thought they would have put Bill and Ted in a Lego movie? I never would have seen that coming. They don't even have the license. It's Warner Brothers, so it makes sense that they have the license in that regard. But Bill and Ted minifigs don't even exist yet. It's kind of like the Simpsons thing where they had Milhouse show up in the first movie before those sets came out. Granted, we knew the sets existed, but does this mean we're gonna get Bill and Ted soon? I don't know.
Excellent. I don't know.
Yeah, rad, dude. Head banging.
Probably not.
Head banging ensues to.
I take that back. We might get like one set since they're making the third one or the next.
That's
sequel.
true. Yeah, they're making the sequel.
We might get like a spin set, maybe like a Lego idea set, maybe something like that.
Those movies are so against like Lego's like company stands.
Their quality of standards or whatever.
Yeah, like they're never gonna get like a full line of sets. I even doubt they're gonna get one set. In fact,
so is Big Bang Theory. I mean, if you think about that show has got some things Lego probably doesn't agree with.
Yeah, it's got some questionable stuff in it. But,
so
that is true. Yeah.
Even Overwatch. I mean, I guess even Overwatch too. Like, oh yeah, the Skynet thing. Like, that's something. When are we gonna get sets? I want a Lego Terminator. I want an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
In that case, wait till I parody it. I mean, yeah, I want sets.
Oh my gosh.
Give me your clothes.
Yeah. I guess in terms of like other characters and stuff, there was the other one I wanted to mention about the jokes and stuff. Gandalf, my dude, he kills it. First
Every
of
time.
all, I need
He wasn't
to
in the movie
have-
enough.
He wasn't, yeah. Like it's like I need to have an apocalypse version of Gandalf. I love the printing and stuff that they did for him. Funny enough, I got the Apocalypse Abe Lincoln from the minifig series.
I love how
Like
historically
half
accurate it is.
those figures should have been replaced. I would have been fine with taking like 10 of those minifigs out just to get Gandalf in there. It's
you
like
could
the
have thrown out
printing
the Wizard
and
of Oz characters.
stuff on that is so good. Yeah, that would have been fine with that.
I think we're all on the same page of we are vehemently disappointed with the Wizard of Oz characters and their non-random selection.
Yes.
Oof. Which
And
by the
they're
way,
in the
I told
movie
you
for,
that
like,
my roommate
5
he got
seconds.
the other two. He got the other
They're
two
in the
Wizard of
movie
Oz
for
minifigs.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
But oh yeah, so like with Gandalf, dude, his Marvel roast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was
It's
one
like
of the
he-
references I appreciated.
He has that joke, and then he has the thing with him falling into it was the bin of storage or whatever I think it was called.
I might miss
Yeah,
that
like
one,
I freaking love that because it's like it's him, fly you fools or run you fools, whatever the line.
Oh wait, I remember now.
Yeah. With when Armageddon is coming in, I love the puns. The puns are still just as good. I think Armageddon was kind of obvious,
Yeah.
though.
It wasn't initially because I couldn't quite make out what they were saying. I just heard the again part.
No, I
Yeah,
understood.
I kept thinking they said
I didn't think about
our
it.
Momageddon, but it makes sense that they were saying our, like AR Momageddon.
Like I knew mom was in there. Something with mom was gonna happen, but I
Mhm.
didn't know it was gonna be like we're gonna put all the Legos in the bins. I thought that was
Well,
really
that
genius.
that was something I didn't see coming. Was Maya Rudolph is the mom. I thought that was funny. I didn't think they were gonna have another comedian. I didn't think.
Oh, she was in
I figured
Community. I was trying to remember where she was from.
She's in a lot of things nowadays.
She's in
I've seen quite a few movies with her.
Like
in,
Bruce Willis. He's in a lot of things these days.
Oh gosh, yeah, that joke. I couldn't get enough.
appreciate it.
Like
I love
kind of
it.
wish I could have gone back in time myself, not be like Rex Danger Vest, and just go over my past self and he'd be like, "What's the Lego Movie 2?" Like I'd say 2 words: Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
And just leave past me, just confused as heck. It'd be
Oh my god,
hilarious.
the air duck joke is so funny.
It's so great. Well, and that's another thing
Oh,
too.
man.
When are we getting Die Hard sets? When are we getting a Bruce Willis minifig?
It's like Lego, like now announcing like a mature adult collection featuring Bill and Ted,
Oh.
Skynet, and Bruce Willis.
Please,
That would
Lord.
be really interesting to see.
Like that would break that wouldn't break. That would decimate and burial their company values.
They really
Yeah,
would.
it would. Yeah. Well, the next thing they'd have to do is throw Halo in there, and bam, they're
Oh,
done.
now I'm sold. Take my money.
Take my-
Doom guy.
Speaking of, if you know where I can find a Doom Guy minifigure, let me know. We're getting off topic. Lego Movie 2.
hmm
Uh,
One of my grievances with it could have used more Will Ferrell. I kind of wish they just had completely strayed away from his character entirely, as opposed to like shoving him in at the beginning and at the end.
I mean, they did.
Um,
I bet he wasn't even filmed. I bet it was just all just ADR and voiced afterwards. Like
Well, it was all dialogue.
he literally had 4
Yeah.
lines in this movie. That was it.
Mhm. Honey, where are my pants?
So I mentioned
I
this
figured-
to you, Trev, but I don't think I mentioned it to you, Jared. I certainly haven't mentioned it to the viewers, but I have a really controversial idea of what they could have done with President Business. I think they should have had less Will Ferrell. As in, I think they should have killed off President Business and in turn killed off the dad. My thought being like the whole thing is like, you know, about the I guess reconciliation between Finn and Bianca, the 2 kids. I think what would have made that more powerful is if they were dealing with some sort of family tragedy at the time. Like, okay,
I
Apocalypse Bird's
do
gone,
agree.
it represents his dad. And so, of course, the thing that he and his dad connected on, destroying it all, I think would have been more thematically deep.
Yes,
Just for starters.
I think I do 100% agree with you. I think that the impact of Bianca and Finn, whatever his name is, getting back together as brother and sister is very sweet. But it was not as impactful as Finn and his dad getting back together in the first movie. I thought that one was just like, man, that hit me right in the freaking feels, man.
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah, it does.
And this one was like, oh, that's really sweet. Like I was like, oh man, because I have a sister, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. That's a sweet moment, especially when he gives the heart back to her. And I was like, man, that's awesome. But I was like,
Yeah.
it still didn't hit me as hard as Finn and his dad.
Well,
And
let me try way your
I wasn't
thought processes
I'm
here.
not done. Here's my controversial opinion. I think after watching that movie, I spent all last night before I went to bed and this morning just thinking, like, what was the theme? What was the moral of the story? What was the thing that's supposed to stick with me after the movie? And it's hard to think about it because I don't really know what it was. Like the first movie, I know what it was. Everybody's special. Everybody is the special. Everyone has this gift. Everyone should work together and make cool, creative things. And
everyone is awesome.
Everyone is awesome. Man.
Everyone is awesome.
And this one, I feel like it was just really there was too many things going on. Like you had the Rex and like Emmett side plot where it was just like Rex was alone and abandoned, that he didn't have any friends and no one came after him. So he wanted to do the same thing for his past self and wanted to be friends with him, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a thing with Lucy, embracing her past and, being someone that she's not. And you get the Finn and Bianca thing with, brother and sister coming back together. And then other than that, I'm just like, what's the moral? What's like the big theme, the big message that I'm supposed to come out of the movie with? I can't think of it. I'm just saying, tell me what you think it was about, because I
think Noah's nailed it. The moral is let your sister play with your Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell Trevor's just dying to get at this, so you fire away.
I really am.
I am.
I'm ready to drop some knowledge on you fools.
I'm ready to be convinced. Give me something.
Okay. I think the core idea of it is it comes down to maturity. Because we see there's a lot of points that I think, there's a lot of things that happen in the movie that point to it. You have the Bianca versus Finn sort of viewpoint. So you have Finn's, more grown-up mentality as opposed to his sister's. Granted, that does kind of throw gender into the whole thing, but I know that was something I actually was kind of happy to not entirely see within the film, because I know there were going to be a bunch of people, SJWs, that were going to freak out about, sexism and stuff like that.
Very true.
But yeah, it's sort of seeing, Bianca's younger, Finn is older. They have different interests because of that age gap, the age difference. So, it's kind of the struggle of them trying to interact on the same plane when they're two different ages. The next point to bring up would be the characters in the movie themselves. And this was the one thing that I think stuck with me the most, was you see all the characters from the first film, they all go through some very new makeovers and changes in this film.
Agreed.
All of them except for Emmett. Although he kind of does go through some changes because you have Rex that's thrown in there. But it's like Emmett is dealing with the fact of seeing Rex, who is, it's himself, but it's a more mature version of himself. He still doesn't want to let go of that. And that's where you see he is the same figure throughout both films. Whereas you see Wildstyle, Benny, Metalbeard, Unikitty, all of those other sort of side main characters, they all go through these not only physical changes within the film, but they do also go through some mental changes as well. Like you said, for example, Wildstyle, she finally, gives into embracing her past.
Yeah.
Like you see Unikitty, she starts in this film more than in the first one. She embraces the anger that she has for everything. And even just within the Everything Is Not Awesome song, which, my gosh, I probably would have cried had I not have been having so much fun within the rest of the film.
I am so depressed.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like a song about grad school.
Seeing Unikitty say that cracked me up when I heard it for the first time. But yeah, it's like they all come to terms with the fact that they're growing up. Things aren't going to be perfect. As a kid, like just playing with your Lego is just it's pure bliss. There's no, you have no other cares in the world or anything like that. But growing up, you have a lot more responsibility with everything. You like adults go on to have families most of the time, and it's like there's just so much more on your plate that you can't revert back to your childhood like state when you just all you did was have fun. And I think that's kind of where I think I had another point, but I forgot it was going off on other stuff.
Okay,
But,
so let me ask this. Let me ask this. Do you think? Okay, so you said the core theme of it probably was maturity, and sorry if you hear a dog barking, that's probably my dog. So when you mean that, do you mean like it's okay to embrace your kid's self? Is that what you're saying? Like, or you're saying like it's okay to grow older and change?
I think like that's something where I think it does throw some mixed messages. I think it's saying like it's trying to tackle the divide between how maturity changes people. Like most people, when it comes to Lego in specific, they grow older. Lego, it's a plastic kid's toy. I can't do stuff with that anymore. They just throw it away, and they're stuck they're in the dark ages at that point. But you see like with just President Business with the man upstairs, with Finn's dad, it's like he never lost sight of that. He has always been doing stuff with Lego. I mean, as far as we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's like it's kind of trying to tackle the difference between even with people that like play with Lego. It's like you see Finn and Bianca, they have two very different interests in terms of what they do with their Lego stuff.
Right.
Finn is more involved in basing stuff off of like more mature movies. That's why we see stuff like Skynet and Bill and Ted, and even like the mention of Radiohead show up in there too. So yeah, and it's like then Bianca, she's more involved in wanting to play with stuff where it's all based on like animals and glitter and what is it, the teen vampire, like Balthazar, that character.
Namaste.
I thought that was funny too. I think that's kind of where the core of it comes down to as a whole. I also think within just everything's not awesome. See, I love that message too of like, not everything is going to be great. Nothing is going to be perfect. And again, that also ties in with the maturity thing. As you grow older, there's a lot more opportunity for things to turn to crap, and a lot more opportunity for things to be more complicated in life and not work themselves out. But it's kind of that realization that, there's still something there for you to fall back on that can help you through those hard times and everything.
See, I think honestly that's more of the theme. Like the whole maturity, it's definitely big, but I kind of see that more as a sub-theme in the end. Because I think the whole message does fall down to everything's not awesome. Like granted, Finn's definitely more mature than Bianca, or at least how we would say he's mature. But I think the film more just deals with just coping. Which I'm trying to figure out how to say this while separating it from how it should have ended, because it has blurred a little bit there. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that because Bianca is now allowed to, play with something that Finn and his dad treasured so much, Finn's trying to cope with the fact that she's just absolutely made it miserable for him. And Bianca's trying to cope with the fact that she feels like she's not accepted by her brother and that she really looks up to him. And with the physical and mental changes of all the characters, they're all trying to cope with this change where everything that suddenly went from awesome to not awesome. I think the phrase "everything's not awesome" isn't just a callback to the first film. I think it's a deliberate idea of flipping the premise of the films. Like Emmett is the one who hasn't changed because his way of coping with it all is just doing what he's always done. He's the special. What he learned from the last film is that it's okay to be him. And only when Rex Dangervest comes in and questions his way of coping with everything does he start realizing, oh man, maybe I'm not that awesome after all. Like the other line in the song, everything's not awesome, but we can make it be in some idealized... Those lyrics are too cleverly written. But the idea being that, sure, everything is not awesome. You have to cope with it. And the way you cope with it can take even just the smallest bit of it, dare I say the smallest piece of it, and make it awesome again. Like, Bianca and Finn can't control everything around them, but they can control how they interact with each other. They can at least make that awesome, even if everything else isn't, despite maturity, despite age, despite the fact that one's a guy who watches a lot of Mad Max, Bill and Ted, and despite the fact that one of them is a girl who likes animals and teen vampires. Why did this combination of words escape my mouth? I don't know, but you get what I'm getting at here.
I do. I think your how it should ended would have worked.
I think that would have really amplified that.
I think that would have worked better for me personally instead of what was given. I don't think like I don't know. I just don't think it was a big enough impact because I feel like yours, if like let's just say Will Ferrell died in that movie, I think that would have been a better. Everything's not awesome because of course I'm playing with a toy that my dad loved to play with me, and now it's my sister is ruining this thing. So now I have to be all dark and broody and make monologues and stare off into random distances.
Yeah, exactly.
But what they gave is just like, I don't know. I don't think it's
where I
as
lie
impactful.
on that is I think had Finn's father died, I think it would have been a bit better had the parents gotten into a squabble or whatever and maybe gotten a divorce or the dad left or something like that. I think it would have been better had they done that as opposed to the dad dying, because I think if the dad died, Finn has all these plastic parts that are just going to remind him of his dad.
Yep.
And for me personally, I feel like that would be super depressing just to have that all. I would want to get rid of all that. A
lot of people use that sort of thing as like a coping mechanism. You think
exactly.
they run from it all, but they actually return straight to it because it's the only thing they have left.
And that's why I would think it would be all dark and broody and all. Pacosburg is because he destroyed. He was like maybe Finn was just so mad that his dad's gone, and so he destroyed it. And now he's after watching these dark movies, he's embracing that dark side of him and just. I think we just wrote a better movie.
Or maybe even Bianca destroyed it. Like that would symbolize the Duplo invasion. Maybe she's thinking she's angry and she's taking it out on something as an irresponsible little kid, or maybe she thinks that if she takes it apart, then her and Finn can create something new. Little kids do crazy things for crazy reasons, but I think either way that would have just amplified the fact that Apocalypseburg, it represents the fact that what was awesome is now not, and they drive that theme so hard that I think by the time we get to the second and third act, we kind of forget a bit about that.
Yeah.
Because everything's awesome again, everything's sparkly and rainbows.
Let's try and ground ourselves back into what the movie, I guess, actually is now.
That is true.
Let me say that like the one moment there wasn't in the first Lego movie, the one moment that really sticks out to me is when President Business and Emmett are talking in the cube. Like they're talking, like he's just having you're not a bad guy. Like that line sticks with me a lot more. And like when I watch this movie, I think that the moment between Emmett and Rex, that moment just doesn't really compare as well.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't stick with me as well as Emmett and President Business.
Also, you got to bring into account this was the first film that released, and I mean there's probably a bit more bias in terms of the original nostalgia, stuff like that.
It was 5 years ago. That's not nostalgia.
It can be. Heck, it can be. I mean, I know it's so hard to judge one or the other because it's like picking between two Lamborghinis.
It's like a Lamborghini, and this is like a I don't know, like a Honda Accord. Maybe.
Hey.
Good car. That's better than a Ferrari. That's God anyway.
The Lego Movie 2 is the new Speed Champions McLaren that I bought that I've totally fallen in love with. And the Lego Movie 1 is the other McLaren that I bought that was really cool. But this one is just a little bit cooler because of the pieces. Where am I going with this?
Let me also say that the musical numbers really did hurt it for me. I think there was too many. The songs are great. The songs are great. I just think there were too
weren't
many.
Enough actually. Because I expected it to be more saturated, at least over in Bianca's area, the Sistar system. I felt like it would have been more prevalent there, just because of the way they basically decorate her mind, for lack of a better word. Like the way that they build the whole star system, I kind of expected more musical numbers on them.
I don't think I would have. I think I'm fine with how many they had in there. I mean, personally, I just liked how they, the visuals actually were, very appealing to watch.
Yes,
along with songs, and even you listen to the songs more in depth, and they have their own kind of story that's woven in there, and there's lots of references and call outs and self-aware stuff that happens, and I'm happy that they went with that route, because otherwise I would have probably flat out hated them.
That they knew what was playing too. Like Rex Dangervest doesn't have a musical number. You figure that would have been, let's have the dark and brooding song. That's not Rex, and they don't do that because they know what they're doing with that.
Yeah, and also I want to mention too the whole flipping in and out of the real world versus the Lego world. I remember when they had announced right after the first one came out that their initial plan for the second one was to kind of focus more on the real life side of things. That worried me a lot, because I was much happier with being absorbed into this Lego universe that they had spent the whole film, leading up to and everything. And then just to add in, I mean, granted, the twist at the end of the first one is phenomenal. But I was so worried that they were going to spend too much time in this real world. I actually think they struck a really good balance, to be honest. I think the spot where Maya Rudolph comes in and steps on a Lego piece,
that was a little too long.
That was a little cringy.
A little too long.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that was probably the only weak point in terms of the jumping in between the two.
Really slowed the pace down a lot.
Yeah, and I also thought it was interesting too, the whole thing with them. It's still the Lego figures, but they're still in this. It's them in the human world. I kind of feel like that breaks the canon of the first film, because Lego, like Emmett goes through the magic portal. He goes through the magic portal to get into the real world. But then again, you also got to be thinking too. This is all coming from a kid's mind and how they perceive it. So Finn isn't going to be dropping Emmett in, like bringing him in and out of a portal every single time that reality of everything comes into existence.
Here's my thing with that. If you look at Emmett in the first movie, he's freaking out. Like whenever he comes out into the real life, and like he doesn't know what he's in. So you expect him in the second movie to be like, oh, this is the real life world. I'm kind of used to this, so I can kind of get used to move my arms a little bit, and he does. He does that well. But when Lucy gets in the real world, she doesn't freak out that much. All she says is like, who are you? And when she's talking to Bianca. But other than that, that's it. Like, she doesn't freak out.
Lucy had trained to be special in the first one. Like, she kind of knew what was coming, even though she hadn't experienced it. And she thought Emmett was too much of an idiot. She never said anything.
Emmett also, I'm sure led on to her that, hey, this whole other universe exists. I don't know
about that, because this movie came literally. Well, no.
Well, there's a 5-year gap.
There's a 5-year gap. There's a 5-year gap. Yeah.
So what probably happened was Emmett's all, "Hey, Lucy," hands her coffee. So about that, that crazy world of darkness. Okay, I'll get back to you later.
Definitive evidence of that is what is it? The Stairgate. By the way, loved that was just a giant reference to the Twilight Zone with the door. I was like, oh, that's amazing. It also kind
of felt like a Stargate reference too.
It's a Stargate reference.
Okay, yeah.
It was deliberately both, and I love the way they made that work.
Yeah, but they know that exists. They know that that's where the man upstairs comes from. So that's your definitive proof that they know a human world exists.
I don't think they know that's where a human world exists. I think that's just where they know the other systems are, like where the Sistar system, and like they already knew where that was beyond the door. They never mentioned that it was like, oh, there's a human world out there. They just mentioned that there's other galaxies and systems and planets out there that they've never been to. Like they sent Justice League out there to find, what was out there, and then they never came back. So they never knew what happened to them until they found Superman and Green Lantern.
Just for the record, I kind of love how the Lego Movie, which is run by Warner, basically kind of trashed Justice League.
Yes.
Like those guys at Warner are such good sports about it. It makes me smile.
Thank God for bringing Jason
It's-
Momoa back. I appreciate it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
My man.
Oh, man.
What?
Well, that was
Speaking
That
of
was
bringing people
payback.
back, I got a question. Lloyd Garmadon. I wanted him to be in this movie, but he wasn't. Where could he
Well,
have
this
gone?
yeah. They strayed
Lloyd
away
was a
from
pretty
that
good
Ninjago
character.
stuff.
Yeah.
Where is Lloyd?
Like the other
My-
ninja, they were kind of passe, but Lloyd, I mean, they made a good character out of him. Where could he have gone?
My reasoning for that is, again, because, like, there's kind of a gray area, I think, in Ninjago movie of whose mind that film was necessarily taking place in. Because it's Jackie Chan that's telling that whole story of Lloyd and everything. But, it's the kid that they're focusing on. Like, the focal point is him telling the story to the kid. So I'm assuming that
That is true.
Lloyd,
but
it's
Jackie
going through
Chan
that- it's
calls
going
it
through
the
that
Legend of Ninjago, which is also partially in Jackie Chan's head, as if it's
Mhm.
Ninjago is a thing, and there's multiple ways that you can tell this legend. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's possible
and
that
it's-
Finn has his own version of Lloyd. Like the Green Ninja does show up in the the Creative Council over in Cloud Cuckoo Land in the first one.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
he exists. And again, the thing with Batman, I know that the Lego Batman movie does take place in Finn's head, but it only seems to reinforce the fact that like these characters aren't so much like all these other characters that it references aren't exactly the characters themselves, but sort of a caricature or a character study of these said characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can throw
And
in
it's
Lloyd
like-
and it wouldn't break anything, I don't think.
Mhm.
I'm also glad they brought Alfred back for this one too.
Yes.
I
was
really
happy to
appreciate
see
that.
I would have
really-
loved to see Robin and Barbara mixed into it, but
Why'd you
But
say
yeah,
that
that-
name?
oh my gosh.
Sorry.
It's his mother's name.
Martha.
Chase, if you're out there, I
But
did it.
yeah, like I had wished that in the Lego movie, either in this film or in the Ninjago film, they had led on to something about how that kid knows Finn, and like their consciousnesses kind of are able to connect with one another. Like they can both talk about Ninjago, so that's how Finn could have incorporated that into the second movie.
I'm sure they're like neighbors or something.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Brings them
it's
down the street.
probably that's probably like where the canon lies. To be
But
honest,
still, a pocket
But,
Lloyd, I would have taken that. A pocket any of the ninja,
Pocket-
I would have taken that.
Oh man,
Why are you sitting here, Lloyd?
Oh,
We need to
that
get
would've
back to
been-
brooding. But Dad, maybe we should fight the Duplo invaders. Not now, Lloyd. Quick, soup up
Let
this
me
car
also
with
say
unrealistic
that
engines. I don't know.
the trailers ruined the coffee brooding joke in the very beginning.
I guess
Also
I'm
felt
well, I
like
didn't
that-
see him, so ha.
I'm just saying, I feel like that ruined the joke, and it went on a little bit too long. I wish they would have gotten to Emma's dream a little faster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just-
For not
Again,
having
though,
seen the trailers, that joke was one of my
first
highlights.
act has to lead.
For not seeing
No.
the trailers, that coffee joke is one of my highlights. I think I turned to either Marcus or Trev and I said, "It's grad school." I at least got a kick out of that.
That trailer,
Mhm.
that joke was in the trailer too.
Yeah, but the fact that
Yeah.
it's in the trailer means I can grab that footage and stick it in my vlog. So you know what I'm gonna do now.
Don't copyright us, Warner, please. Free
That's just Chris,
advertising.
Warner, let's be real. We spent the last hour hyping up your movie. Be good sports, okay?
Please, we love you and movies, and we want you to make another one. I would be fine with seeing a third Lego movie. I think
They can do it.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would want to see a longer gap in between this one and like this and the first one, or if I would want to see this out within the next 2-3 years. I mean, it's going to depend on the box office at this point now, which kind of sucks. But
Here's my pitch for the third Lego movie. You ready?
Bruce
oh
Willis.
god,
Finn is now,
in college,
I want to say he's in high school,
high school, okay.
and he still collects a little bit of Lego. You know, he still plays with it every now and then. But then his friends introduce him to Mega Blocks.
Oh gosh. Oh,
There you go. That's it. That's all I got for you.
But what was
Okay,
what was Cez's film pitch where a minifigure
was,
from the Lego movie
it was-
falls in love with a Lepin figure?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Oh,
they,
what I call what was the title I came up with? Oh crap!
a
it
Lego
was-
love story or something like that.
No, it was a Lepin. There was a Lepin pun in there. I can't remember what
Okay,
it was called.
let me pull up my Twitter quickly.
Lord.
We got to answer this. Like, we tagged Lego and
And then-
everything. This is a big deal. We're also kind of in tight with them these days because of crafting table.
Right.
Or at least
And I
we like
guess
to think we
also-
are.
I guess last thing to go through after we find that would be like the jokes and stuff, because
I think
that's something I would want to talk
I
about.
laugh more in the first one than I did in this one.
See,
I feel like some of them were a little bit repeated and a little bit landed a little flat with me. Some of them did really make me laugh, but not all of them, which is really disappointing. I go into Lego movies expecting to laugh a lot, and I have with the first Lego movie and Lego Batman movie. Ninjago a little bit. I think Ninjago has like one of the best jokes, but this one, the Lloyd.
I know your weaknesses.
This one is just like, I don't know, like it just when my girlfriend doesn't laugh a lot, it was like she died in the Lego Batman movie and the first Lego movie, but this one like she didn't laugh a lot, and I was a little disappointed. I didn't either. Like there were some jokes that really made me crack up, but none of them really killed me.
That Marvel joke killed me.
Yeah, that one was
Bruce
good.
Willis stuff killed me. I'm trying to I'm annoyed. My only regret is not trademarking that statement or whatever however that went.
No regrets. No regret
no
not
regrets.
trademarking that statement.
Except for
I don't know how many times I said over the past week, and my old roommate hates me for it.
Well, see, also right. I think it's a weird thing too, where I think this is the most Lego movie we've gotten. Like outside of seeing like pipe clean, like there's the pipe cleaner that Unikitty has, and all the glitter and stuff as well, which I guess you can't really discount that as not being Lego because it is incorporated into Lego pieces and stuff now. Yeah. But this is the most Lego movie we've gotten. I mean, there's dust that shows up within the Apocalypse sections.
Something
that's about it.
That caught my eye. If there's a shot when Lucy and Benny and Unikitty all get to they first meet the Queen, right? And when you look at Unikitty, you can see smudges on her face, like fingerprint smudges. I thought that was super detailed and super awesome that they included that.
Well, also, that level of detailing is everywhere. Look at Emmett's vest, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Trev pointed out, the
minifigs. Yeah, like the minifig has some like scuff marks and stuff on it. They have like scratches and indents into the printing, which is pretty cool. But actually, cool. I realized too, when they're in the Sistar system, they have like the water that's all represented by like pieces of fabric. So I guess really that kind of does throw the whole like, oh, it's the most Lego movie in the franchise.
Not entirely, because a lot of Friends and Elf sets use like heavy amounts of cloth pieces.
Actually,
they use them more than most
true.
Other sets.
But also that blue cloth is in Bianca's room. If you look in her room in the shots.
Apparently there's I remember stuff of people saying there's a Unikitty plush that shows up, and apparently it shows up like you see one of them in her room. Neat. And I also saw something about the canon for that, because we see Puppycorn show up within one tiny little part in the movie. Yep. So there was somebody that suggested that the movie, like the Unikitty must not have been a character Finn had come up with. It must have existed as like the show that's on Cartoon Network. But then it's kind of his own manifestation of it, which is probably why she doesn't look as cartoony, why she looks a little bit more naturalistic like an actual cat.
That makes sense. And I'm going to run with that.
Because again, they're all interpretations, so...
Headcanon.
Yep.
Literally.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of headcanon, I found Seza's post on Twitter. Lego Movie 3, I love it, never lip hand out.
Yeah, there it is.
It's horrible, but it's perfect. Lego, we want 50% royalty. Let's talk.
50%.
We do.
If you ain't talking dollars, I don't want to talk.
Well, actually, that does kind of show up. We have the off-brand Mary Poppins, Harry Poppins.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Full of salt.
And I forget who voiced. I saw something on the IMDb page about who voiced that guy. I think it was. It was one of the guys from The Lonely Island that voiced him. It wasn't Andy Samberg.
Was it George? Oh man, I can't remember his name.
We're gonna look it up right now.
A part of me was hoping that it was Dick Van Dyke, but just like a really crazy impersonation.
I think it was Jorma Taccone.
Oh, Jorma, yeah.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Poor Aquaman, man. Like, here's the older version of Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
I guess the last thing we want to talk about would be the jokes, because we kind of brushed on it. It's like where my issue lies is I think the jokes in the first one are really funny,
They are.
and they rely mostly on, tongue-in-cheek jokes and gags within the film itself, whereas this one relies a lot more on references. But I think stuff like that Marvel joke and things like Bruce Willis and all that, I think those jokes are funnier in this film than in the first one. So it's like I don't know what to think is what they're better in, because you have original stuff that isn't, it's funny but not as funny as the like reference IP related funny stuff in this film.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't decide which one I like the jokes in more. I think I do still like the jokes in the first one a little bit more, but when I laugh at some of the stuff in this film, I think I laugh at it way more in this one than I would have in the first.
The more I think about it, this is gonna be kind of a little controversial, but
boy,
I think Emmett himself as a character and whatever and how he tells jokes or however he speaks, it got a little old in this one. Like in the first one, you didn't expect it, and like most of his lines were pretty hilarious and funny. But this one, it was just like, yeah, I guess so. It kind of landed flat a little bit.
I think Finn takes not Finn. I think Emmett even takes a little bit of a back seat in this film. Like I don't think he really is entirely like 100% the main focal character of the film.
I think Lucy is more of a bigger character.
It is more focused on Lucy, which is I personally like that. I think that's really cool. Yeah. Like, it focuses on, the changes and stuff within the characters.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
I think if they want to do a third movie, I think it's gotta be a new cast. Like I don't think you can do Chris Pratt again as Emmett for a third one. I just think that's gonna land flat again.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that's just my opinion.
I was really disappointed.
Pick a new main, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I think you probably cameo Emmett, but I don't think you can make him a star again because he's just gonna, be this like I don't know how to explain it, but he's just gonna be the same old self, the same cheesy joke puns and I love you, Lucy.
I think you can still run with it though. I mean, it's a fairly well-used character archetype, and the fact that they managed to find a good way to use him, even if it was a little bit annoying, not entirely sure I agree on that, but we'll figure that out later. I think there's still a little bit of usability left in him, but they have less options to work with for a third one.
Yeah.
Cause what was I gonna say? Crud, I can't. Oh yeah, going back to some of the characters that kind of got left out from the first film, like President Business, for example. I kind of wish they had just never mentioned Scribble Cop at all, because I was still hoping that Liam Neeson would have showed up in the film. What does he do? He grunts. That's it. And that kind of ticked me off a little bit, because I love his character. And they really made it seem like he was going to be, a more heavily involved part in this film.
Man. Okay.
So
when your face is made of Sharpie, it's really hard to talk.
Yeah, mind blowing. Here is a new plot. Here's another part of how it should have ended, or how it should have been. Like, how President Business left the whole movie to go golfing? Mm-hmm. Why didn't Will Ferrell leave? Like, when a divorce happened, like that should have represented Will Ferrell's character going away.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, even you got to think too. Like Vitruvius, he's gone now. Like, he's a ghost. Like, I figured he would have shown up even just in another little part of it. I mean, he shows up like he does at the first. Yeah, he shows up like he does in the first film, but it's just like no, he's there for like that 1 second of footage that we already saw within the first film, and then he's gone. He just leaves. He's gone. Like he doesn't even. I don't think he even says anything. He's just like, I'm a ghost. I'm out.
I don't think he even
I'm ghosting.
Like at all.
No, he does.
I don't think he does.
He does, because there's that bit that they have from right at the end of the first one that is shown in the second one as well.
He's not in the movie.
You see him float like off as well. But I don't think he says anything. I don't think he does anything. He just sits there. I mean, and then he's gone. So.
I think the cast in the first
movie, it's all your fault.
The first movie's cast was, I think, better than this cast.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean,
think the
well, who
second
did
movie
they?
cast
Yes, Queen whatever
Who did they-
was a little bit annoying.
That was Tiffany Haddish,
That's
and
just
then you
Tiffany
had
Haddish, though.
That's the name.
Steven-
Thank you. And then General Mayhem, I think, was a cool character and a cool concept.
Yeah,
but once the helmet came off, it was kind of disorienting. It was almost like she changed to another character
I feel like she
entirely.
didn't really pack as much of a punch as I figured the character would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen
pretty
Beatrice is her name.
Stephanie Beatrice, yeah.
Stephanie, Stephanie, one of those.
Steve.
Stephanie
Oh, well.
Beatrice. Because those are really the only two. They have like Ice Cream Cone and Balthazar and them, but I mean, they're definitely also Banarnar. That was another thing I was disappointed about too. Like I kept seeing a bunch of ads and stuff making a big deal about how he's the best cinematic banana we've ever seen. And I love Ben Schwartz. Like, I've come to love him as a comedian. I figured they were going to utilize him a lot more. They really didn't. He was just there for some gags that those I think
They landed flat.
Yeah, just like he did on his face.
Why do you keep doing that same joke over and over again? They did it like 3 times.
Yeah,
I'm just
it fell flat. It fell.
Exactly.
Like the first time, it kind of
words
worked.
Going out of my mouth.
Last 2 times, no, it didn't really work for me.
No, yeah.
Yep. That being said,
yeah, like
pretty funny movie overall. I'm kind of segueing because we probably should start wrapping this up in a bit.
Yeah, it's a fun, enjoyable movie. I think people should go see it. But I don't think it's as good as the first one personally. But I think it's still very enjoyable, and people should go see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized I've been saying Harry Poppins. It's actually Larry Poppins.
Well,
sorry.
A spoonful of salt. I'll show myself. But
yeah, I guess just the last thing to say here would be like, can we just get some more of those figures? Like we got Apocalypse, Cleopatra, Gandalf, Velma, which, funny enough, she was voiced by Chris McKay, not Chris McKay, Mike Mitchell, director. I thought that was hilarious.
Jinkies.
Yeah, like that was a really interesting one to see in there. I think it would have been hilarious had it coincidentally been Shaggy, because the Shaggy meme was going on at the time.
My power, Scoob.
Yeah, like that was interesting to not see him in there, but
he was too busy using 1% of his power somewhere else.
I underestimate my power.
But yes.
But
yeah,
so
see it. It's awesome.
I guess go see it, please.
Some of us say it's awesomer.
We need more
some of
people to
us
go
say
see
it's not as awesomer. But either way,
it's awesome.
Like
it's
like picking the best Ferrari.
We're just gonna keep using that analogy.
I'm actually starting to question analogy because, like, there are some controversial models. I'm getting.
Oh my god.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning in to the Frame100 podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode. For those of you who are watching, because you came back later after watching the movie, we'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. We'll be wrapping up season 4 pretty soon, and then moving on to season 5. With that will come some changes, some adjustments. So if there's something you want to see on Frame100, now it's time to start letting us know. So shall we say goodbye, gentlemen?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Later.
Fare thee well.
Everything is awesome.